Street Outlaws is a Discovery Channel reality series that premiered in June 2013 and currently boasts 13 seasons. Produced by Pilgrim Studios, the show follows underground street racers who love to pull pranks, talk smack, and battle it out in potentially life-threatening situations. The original series took place in Oklahoma, but there are now many spin-offs. The Outlaws are no strangers to run-ins with criminals and authorities alike. Traditional drag racers have accused the crew members of partaking in illegal street races, but normally the on-screen races are organized safely, securely, and legally. But the behind-the-scenes races that take place before or after filming are another story altogether. Anyone involved in street racing knows what's at risk. Crew members such as Big Chief and Dave Cornstalk have been involved in unpleasant accidents, while street racing in sometimes unsafe conditions. Dave's car flipped over 6 times and hit the wall, and he was immediately transferred to the nearest hospital. Luckily, Dave survived the accident virtually uninjured, but Big Chief wasn't so fortunate. While filming a race against Brian Davis, his car landed in a ditch, and he suffered injuries to his spinal cord as well as a fractured collarbone. Some of the Outlaws, including James Goad and David Jones, have had their cars stolen. James immediately reported the theft of his 1955 Chevrolet to the Oklahoma City Police, and thankfully, his vehicle, which is valued at $175,000, was found just 2 days later. It remains unclear if David's $100,000 1967 Chevrolet Camaro was returned to him, although the incident was caught on surveillance camera. Street Outlaws has had a somewhat seedy reputation due to the antics of some crew members. For example, Rhett Jones has been arrested several times on drug trafficking charges, and in a particularly memorable incident, he was caught selling crystal meth out of his shop. His colleagues, Past Christian, was also arrested on the same charges after stashing half a pound or about a quarter kilo of drugs. In 2015, Sean Ellington became the talk of the town when an unidentified gunman shot at his store 11 times. Nobody was in the shop that day, but Sean's alleged involvement in criminal activities plagued him for months. The shooter was riding a motorcycle and drove towards Sean's residence, which is why viewers think that the TV star knew the criminal personally. Christopher Goodman, Jerry Clyde Stevenson Jr., and Ronnie Pollard were all arrested for stealing 2 engines valued at approximately $500,000. Ronnie, who made occasional appearances on the show, was recruited by the mastermind of the operation, Jerry Clyde, a criminal with 5 felonies on his record. The sordid incident didn't impact the show as negatively as it could have, given that Ronnie wasn't a main cast member, but it still called into question the Outlaws' integrity. The untold truth about Street Outlaws is even more surprising than most viewers would imagine. For example, in 2015, the National Hot Rod Association, or NHRA, threatened drivers that they would take away their licenses if they were to participate in the show. Despite all the on-screen antics being perfectly legal, the NHRA turned their noses up at the reality series' less-than-perfect reputation. In fact, Derek Travis was fired from his job for appearing in Street Outlaws, although he soon found another one. The show's producers have also been slammed for glamorizing street racing, despite some of its less glamorous aspects being shown. However, the team behind Street Outlaws is in a clear catch-22 situation, because if they were to reveal that most of the show is totally scripted, they'd lose most of their viewership. That's right, even the nerve-wracking street racing scenes are staged, although not the actual races. Safety concerns are a big issue, as in the New Orleans edition of Street Outlaws, many of the drivers had no experience. Mixing hot-headed, competitive, and inexperienced drivers is certainly a recipe for disaster, but on the positive side, the show has helped many people make a name for themselves in the street racing industry. The deaths of Tyler Pittle and Butch DeMoss were another cause for concern. Tyler, who appeared in the first season, died before it even aired, so he never got to see himself on TV. He was found dead at home at the devastatingly young age of 31. His demise led to rumors of substance abuse or suicide, but no official cause of death was ever given. As for Butch, he was a beloved figure in the drag racing scene, who passed away aged 43 years old after being found unresponsive in his home. The racing community was left heartbroken by his death, but more questions were raised when his high school friend, shared that he died of a heart attack. It's unknown what exactly caused the heart attack, although some netizens claim that high-speed racing could have negatively impacted his health. Izzy Valenzuela was one of the show's most promising talents until he was involved in a car crash that killed 2 innocent bystanders. In one stroke, Izzy ruined his career, and things only went downhill when he denied being at the scene. When police discovered that Izzy had lied, they arrested him on the spot, and since then, there's been no news about what the former fan favorite is up to these days. So, who comprised the leading member of the series? Born and raised in Memphis, JJ DeBoss, real name Jonathan Day, is one of the most familiar faces of the Outlaws franchise. Thanks to his outgoing personality, family values, and stunning car collection, the father of 11, yeah, you heard that right, is considered by many to be the star of the show, and the reason many viewers tune in week after week. Before becoming a street racer, JJ worked as a roofer and saved his money up to fix old cars. In his younger years, he was something of a wild card and was caught by police several times for organizing and participating in illegal underground racing events, as well as smuggling car parts. After an 8-year stint in federal prison, JJ resolved to do things the right way and turned to fixing and selling vehicles legally to earn a living. JJ met his current wife, Trisha Midget Day, in 2008. At the time, he already had 7 children and wasn't exactly a catch. However, Trisha saw the potential in the troubled future TV personality and helped him fix his life. As JJ gushingly said, "I love Trish. I feel like she saved me and my life. She got me on the right path." The happy couple share a lot of interests, as she also earns a living buying and selling cars. With that said, JJ is far from perfect and has even been accused of trying to kill fellow race car drivers. In 2018, Chad Larkin filed a federal complaint stating that the Memphis native had kicked him in his head, lunged at him, and verbally abused him by saying, "F you, fat boy, get your own show." This all occurred during the filming of the show. The reason behind the potentially deadly brawl? JJ contacted Chad with the intention of participating in a $1,000 street race, filming it and including it in the show. In the lawsuit, Chad claims that he was asked to bring a friend dressed in prison attire, and then fed lines to create tension between him and JJ. Chad wasn't allowed to mention that the race was for Street Outlaws, and was only informed of the location 30 minutes before it took place, which would make anyone suspicious. The racer and his wife Jenny also blamed the crew of the reality show, saying, "While the assault was ongoing, the producers of the show made no effort to stop it. Rather, the camera crew and producers continued filming. One of the producers instructed a cameraman to get closer and get a better shot." The state of JJ and Chad's relationship, if there is one, remains unclear as of 2022. On a more positive note, JJ is a doting father and also has 5 grandchildren. His kids are pretty low-key, and only one, Josh, has followed in his dad's footsteps to become a street racer. For now, Josh is married and shares 2 daughters named Camden and Novale with his wife Chelsea. It's unknown how many women JJ had his brood of children with, or if he's on speaking terms with all of his offspring, but at least he and Josh have a good relationship. Earlier this year, fans were concerned for JJ and Trisha when the famous duo were injured in a car crash during the filming of Street Outlaws America's List. The Facebook page Deep South Street Racing shared several gruesome images depicting wrecked vehicles, and added, "Keep praying for JJ DeBoss and his wife Trish. Trish Wayne is in the worst shape, so y'all keep praying for the MSO family. They need it right now." The post was shared thousands of times and sparked discussions in the street racing community. One commenter claimed to have inside information saying, "JJ caught fire, crossed center, hit Trisha, and rolled." Trisha was sent into 3 minivan rental cars that were protecting light towers / camera equipment. They also shared that the pair were, at the time of posting the comment, in stable condition in the hospital. Months after the incident, Trisha gave fans an update on her and her husband's health, and confirmed that they'd recovered. Despite being immobile for a long time and needing screws in their legs, eager to get back on the scene, the couple shared a video of themselves at a racetrack the very next day. Although nowhere near as famous as JJ, Molly Gulley caught people's attention after appearing in the 4th season of Memphis Street Outlaws. The Arkansas State University alumni is in her late 20s and celebrates her birthday on the 31st of December, making her a Capricorn. When not participating in street races, Molly works at 3 family businesses: Gulley Bail Bonds as a bail bond agent, KEG Motorsports as a merchandise model, and KEG Towing. Her parents, Kenneth and Carrie, are born entrepreneurs who keep the money flowing in with various business ventures. And it's believed that their other daughter, Natalie, also shares their hardworking streak. The Memphis native is currently dating Zach King, whom she met while studying at ASU. Not much is known about Zach, although he regularly shares photos of his fishing expeditions on Instagram and other social media platforms. The couple went Instagram public in late 2020 and love to attend sporting events together. It's unclear if they plan to have children, but for now, they share an adorable furry baby named Ellie Mae. Molly has thousands of Instagram followers herself, and they're clearly keen on her coming back to Street Outlaws after an extended absence. The beautiful blonde hasn't shared her future plans for the time being, and it appears that she's been busy enjoying herself at various beaches and making memories with her friends all summer 2022. Of course, Molly has some pretty big shoes to fill if she wants to be taken seriously in the racing world. Her father, who has been part of the scene for decades, grew up in a racing household and learned everything he knows from his father. His vehicle, a 2003 Chevy S10, affectionately nicknamed Bounty Hunter, is practically famous in its own right. Kenneth may not be considered as controversial or interesting as JJ, but he's a loving family man who's managed to steer clear of scandal since appearing in the show. The savvy businessman and his wife Carrie make an incredible team and have been together through thick and thin. As for Natalie, she also works at Gulley Bail Bonds and has 2 dogs named Chet and Riverdale. Despite not appearing in Street Outlaws, fans are familiar with her for being Kenneth's daughter and Molly's sister. The bubbly blonde is also an esthetician and has been in a committed relationship with a pilot named Colby for the past few years.
Thank you for spending some time with us. Make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss another video. We also handpick these videos, which we recommend you watch next. You can talk to us on all social medias or ask a question in the comments below. Thank you for being with us, and we'll see you back tomorrow.